Hi there, I am here with Catrin Evans, who is the writer of the second play in our season, which is called Thank You. Hi Catrin.
Hi.
So, Thank You is a story about a couple who were in a relationship, but you've not written a romantic comedy. It's slightly
it's definitely not a romantic comedy. It's basically the premise is that Ella, who's the woman, the female character, she has requested a meeting with a guy that she used to go out with when she was sort of an older teenager, sort of 18, 19, and they're now sort of late 30s. So they haven't seen each other for a long time, and she has got something that she wants to talk to him about, and that's basically what the play is. I don't want to say what they're going to talk about. But
it is interesting. It explores relationships from a really different angle. It takes the audience.
And I think essentially what the piece is exploring and what they explore is about interpretation of an event and truth and actually how you inquire on a memory that two people have a different interpretation of, and actually what the ramifications are in the present moment for that, and I guess the question is how that will affect them as they then leave the stage and go on with the rest of their lives. So that's the thing, and it's set in a train station, so it's quite a public space.
Transitional space,
so that adds a sort of pressure and a sort of I guess they're outside and they're in public, and so that, but they're having a very private conversation. So for me, dramatically, that feels quite interesting from the outset.
I was just talking to our designers about the play, and they were saying how much they enjoyed it. The dialogue feels really natural, and it's really hard to get a really good, between two folk. And I wonder, because we obviously know you at the Pint as a director, so how have you found
that whole process?
Yeah,
really,
the writer,
really interesting. And actually, it's like, although I've done lots of writing, I sort of often find myself writing as a director in the context of being a director or a maker, a deviser. And so this is the first time I've sat in a room as the writer, and Joe Douglas, who's directing, is managing me very well, it has to be said. Really good, and I trust him implicitly, and like we've talked so much about the piece even before we got into rehearsal, so like he knows the bits that we'd already questioned lots of bits, and actually, but we'd got to a point where we were like, we just need to read it, we need to hear it, and the cast that we've got have been fantastic, and with the last 3 days, well 2.5 days, we've just been working through the piece really slowly and unpicking bits that are either red herrings, as we keep referring to them, because it is really about one thing, but it's about lots of other things, but you have to sort of be really careful that you're not sending an audience off to be like, oh well, maybe she's got a dark secret, or maybe she's got this, or like, and actually, so it's just been sifting through and making sure that every word they say is for the right reasons. And because I love language, I've really loved that interrogation, and because I think I came knowing that it wasn't 100% finished as a piece, but that actually structurally I felt quite it found its ground. So we haven't been, we haven't been like, oh God, is this happening at the right moment? Or actually, I think that's been great. So we have been really detailed. So I've found it great and really exciting, actually. So but now's the time when I have to start stepping away.
Step away and let them.
That'll be the bit that'll hurt probably a little bit. But as I say, Joe is going to do a fantastic job.
So you've got a good company. You've got Joe Douglas, Louise Ludgate, Colin McCready, and Barry Sylvester.
Really exciting.
Pros
really exciting.
Familiar to.
And challenging. They've all got such experience with new writing, and like they know how to ask the right question, and actually there's been a real level of honesty which I've just totally appreciated, because I think if you're going to put on a show, you might as well. There's no point being polite. I think if people don't think a word works or a line works,
especially if we've got such a short rehearsal, there's no time to kind of be about the bush. I've really found it. I've learned a lot in the last few days, so that's quite cool. That's good. And so you're stepping away from the rehearsal process, but you're stepping away and going to New York.
I am. I'm literally being exiled. I'm being exiled.
That's how far you have to go.
Just randomly. Well, not randomly, but Theatre Uncut, which was obviously is a really successful sort of political theatre event, which was a total success at the Edinburgh Fringe. They've been invited to take it to New York, and so they're doing a series of rehearsed readings rather than one a night. They're doing all 6 each night. And so I'm going to be directing David Gregg's Fragile, which I'm really excited about. And so I'm getting on a plane tomorrow morning. I'm totally haven't packed, haven't done anything. this has just been in my head, and so I spoke to Emma Callender, who's the producer of Uncut, yesterday, and I was like, I promise you, when I get on that plane tomorrow, my head will be in it.
Yeah.
But it's been an interesting, but I think it's great. I think, you know, I fly back in the day this opens. Thank you, opens. So I'm going to be like, oh, darling. So yeah, I think in some ways it's been really fortuitous, because I know that I am a bit of a control freak as a theatre maker, because you kind of got to be when you're a director.
Yeah.
But actually, I know that I need to trust. I need to act rather than just tell Joe I trust him. I need to actively trust him. Trust him, and I feel really excited by what I'm going to see when I come back. So
brilliant. Another project I'd like to talk to you about when you're saying, you know, you're a bit of a control freak as a theatre maker, is the Gridiron project that you're working on collaboratively with Lewis Hetherington.
Yes.
He's another writer and director that we've worked with here. So.
Yeah, we're making a show called Leaving Planet Earth, which is going to be on in the summer in Edinburgh, and it's a big site-specific piece. It's at Edinburgh Indoor Climbing Arena, which is this incredible space that's been built into a quarry. So it's a big site-specific promenade piece, and it's sci-fi inspired because it's set on another planet, and it's exploring humanity's first migration into space. So, you know, nothing small, but actually, it's I think we both, Lewis and I both love sci-fi. And how grand it can be, but I think what we've realised with theatre, what we can do with a piece of theatre is actually create a really human drama and look at some of the big themes that we're wanting to explore. You know, what is our connection to this planet? What's our responsibility for a planet that we could in the future fly away from? But through the eyes of a protagonist and a really interesting female character. So we're both really excited about that. So yeah, there's quite a lot to do. Yeah. So I get back from this, and then I go into the second draft of that.
And then later on, you'll be directing
Some Other Mother, which is coming first.
Oh yeah! Oh gosh.
That's due by Julia Tordeman, another sort of Oran
stalwart. Yeah. And I wasn't even going to I was going to say Molly Taylor's.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Of course we've got to do that as well. I love that. Yes.
Busy year.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. Lots of exciting projects.
Yeah, Molly's show I'm really excited about. I think she's got her head really into it at the moment, and again that's an interesting process, because I'm sort of involved in the making, but it's not we're not devising it together. It's very much her piece. So it's making sure that I'm useful as a director who's involved from an early process. You know. So I'm dead excited about that.
Brilliant. Good. We'll look forward to seeing all these
shows
come to fruition. Yeah. Thank you as a co-production between us and the Air Gaiety Theatre.
Indeed.
So 2 weeks for people to see it in performance.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Right. Thanks very much.
Thank you.